A second Friday of the month, and we've got 2 of these each month with the CDBIA, Charlotte-DeSoto Builders Industry Association. With us this morning, Brian McVety from Murdock Stone. And Brian, you've been there a couple of years now. Have you seen different things going on with people trying to do different things at their home like they used to do it up north? You know, putting different things down, trying to...
Yeah, it's always interesting when they come in and they say, well, I need to do it this way or I need to do it this way. And sometimes I have to tell them, especially when it comes to like pavers and stepping stones and whatnot, is, okay, now, are you getting that information from somebody up north? Did you used to live up north? Because really all you need here is just to put paver sand underneath pavers and stepping stones. You don't have to do a whole lot of prep work. You can do sealant, but it's not necessary. So, and sometimes they're relieved because it ends up saving them a decent amount of money.
Exactly, yeah. When people come in and sit down with you at Murdock Stone at the 2 locations, one in Murdock and one in South Gulf Cove, you've got so many different products to choose from. Do people have their mind set on something before they get there?
That's a great question. A lot of times, yes, and then other times they'll say, well, what's the most popular? Or other times they'll say, what should I do? And I'm like, well, you know, it is personal preference. You know, if you tell me the color of your house, I can give you some ideas, but I don't want to be responsible for, you know, exactly what you do just because you go on my opinion. And the other thing I tell people is when they ask for the most popular, I'm like, well, River Rock's the most popular, but it won't necessarily work with your house. And do you want the most popular, or do you want to have something different and have people talking about it? Because we have some pretty cool rocks that not everybody has, and you know, can give your house a little bit different flavor. So.
All right. At the same time, does it have anything to do with their landscaping, with bushes or plants that they're going to plant in there that you have to coordinate with?
A little bit, sometimes depending on the you know, if the plants are going to be real big, real small, or whatever, you know, a different rock might be used. And then the other trick is sometimes people buy exotic plants, and certain rocks and sometimes shell will damage them and they just won't live. But to this point, I don't have like a working list of what works with what. I just tell them, if you're spending a lot of money on a plant, or if it's something that's not real common, you might want to Google it and make sure that this rock won't damage it at all.
Yeah, because I heard that story. Somebody put in shell, and they had some of these. I forget what it was. It wasn't Exors, but something like that, and they died.
Right.
And they didn't know why.
Right.
So make sure you check first off before you do anything special like that. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
When I think of river rock, I think of curbing to keep the river rock in kind of a, you know, in a landscaping mode, so to speak. You just don't kind of dump that out there, do you?
A lot of times, yes, but curbing is very popular as well.
Yeah.
And you know, again, it's personal preference. The thing about curbing is that it'll keep it there. It does make it a little easier to weed eat.
Right.
So, and but over time, curbing, it can lose a little color, and if you don't have a solid foundation underneath, it can kind of
rock and crack. And,
exactly.
I'm experiencing that at my house.
And how often should you change your mulch?
Once a year is what pretty much everybody does, especially like the condo associations and the plazas and whatnot.
Houses?
Houses, yeah, most people do. Now with me, I'm in the business, so I get a little bit of discount. If it doesn't look fresh, I don't like it, so I do it like every 4 months. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but if it doesn't look like, you know, it when you first got it, I like to change it. So.
All right, big question. Should people buy bags of mulch or have it delivered by the yard to their houses from you guys?
Well, you can do it either way, because we sell it both in bags and in bulk. The price difference isn't huge, so you know, it's personal preference. It's whether you'd want to pick up the bag and go lay it where it is, or if you want to use a wheelbarrow and a pitchfork. A perfect example I give is with the landscapers. It's probably 50-50. Some of them, you know, they either all buy it in bulk, or they buy only bags. I mean, the landscapers, they really don't.
Personal preference, yeah.
Exactly, yes, yeah.
Isn't that something? You can get in touch with Brian by calling the office at 941-629-6651. Do you have a website where people can look at some of the supplies that you have online?
Yes, it's murdockstonesetc.com, and we try to keep it pretty well updated. Lots of pictures on there, and you'll see some products that we haven't even spoken about yet, like knives and dock pilings and railroad ties and stuff like that. But pretty much everything that you can buy, we have on the website.
Yeah, I've seen the dock pilings when you go by and see the railroad ties out there, and I'm saying, oh, that wouldn't be bad for like a tiered leveled garden area.
Sure.
You know, that because down here you could do tiers. You can't do mountainside, but you can do tiers.
Right, right. We actually, and I'm not sure why, but my wife and I, we did landscape timbers at first on our empty lot because we built a beach on our empty lot, and it just wasn't holding the sand in place at all. And we did the railroad ties about 2 years ago, and what a difference. You know, we should have done that to begin with. And we're into business, so even we sometimes make mistakes, but it's learning, and then hopefully we can help customers better by what we've learned and our pluses and minuses and whatnot. But yeah, the railroad ties, I love selling those. I'm not sure why. I guess it's kind of a novelty item. So
Yeah, 206-1580 or toll free 888-441-1580. If you've got a question for Brian, all you got to do is give us a call this morning. Tommy just brought up the website, and you've got the Customer Appreciation Day coming up. You want to tell us about that again out in Gulf Cove?
yeah, it's South Gulf Cove, right off of Gasparilla Road on Sawyer Circle in the industrial park there. And we did a grand reopening last year. It's going to be a similar theme this year. There'll be refreshments all day, both Friday and Saturday. There'll be giveaways, and then at the end of Saturday, at 12 noon, we'll draw 4 names, and you'll get a basket with some goodies in it, some gag gifts. But the people that won the the baskets last year, they seemed real happy. So you know, we're happy to do it again, and it's a fun time for both the workers and for the people that stop by.
And all the customers, because they're going to get an idea of what they can do.
Right.
And how cheaply they can do it by using you guys.
Sure. And if you're thinking about doing anything in the meantime, you know, Friday, Saturday is a great time to come out. If you're about to sell your house and you want to give it some added value, that'd be great as well. So
we invite you to come out there. That's coming up next weekend, Friday and Saturday. On Friday, it's going to be from 8 to 5, and on Saturday from 8 to 12. So that's out at Customer Appreciation Day right off Gasparilla Road out there in South Gulf Cove. With everything that you're selling and everything that you're doing, has anything really surprised you over the last couple of years?
well, the big thing is my wife had worked here for 15 years before I came aboard. And there's some stuff that I just didn't really knew that we sold, like railroad ties and the dock pilings. We sell both the dock pilings and the dock piling cutoffs, but people love to put those dock pilings up, normally 3 at a time, different sizes,
Yeah.
you know, just to give it some added flavor.
That's super. Right now, Tommy's got weather and traffic at 8:20 in the morning.
Thanks, Hippo. Good morning, everybody. A quick check.